Hi, folks. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. All of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales in Southern California. That guy out there is
Matt Metris in Rochester, New York.
Matt, and I have been doing some offline research on Quechol, Sotol. We fell in love with the Daslerian Wheelery expression. That is the general plant found all over the Chihuahuan Desert. This one is the Daslerian Texanum. And there were some discrepancies that we thought we might have picked up on the POS material. To my knowledge, Sotol, the Daslerian Texanum version variety grows only in Texas. The information that they sent us is telling us that it grows all over the Chihuahuan Desert, which Durango is part of, and somehow Daslerian Texanum grows there. And the information tells us that is the one of the bigger varieties of Sotol. But Texas Sotol, Daslerian Texanum from Texas, is smaller. Their pinas are a lot smaller. They constrict because there's not enough rainfall in that area of Texas where they can be harvested. So I don't know. I'm getting conflicting information, but we're going to pop the cork on this one. We just broke the seal. I'm going to pour mine in my Sotol jarrito for Sotol or mezcal. The Daslerian. Oh, you're using that one, yeah.
Yeah, I got that one. It's got a nice wide mouth on it. I thought it might be good for this.
You're probably right. I've heard conflicting reports on that particular glass, but it's what, like $40 a piece?
It is.
Yeah, it's a pricey glass.
Got it for my birthday last year.
Well, I'm going to use that Sotol jarrito that I normally use for mezcal and for anything higher ABV, higher than 80 proof, which I think this one's, is it coming in still at 45?
No, even more, I think. 46.3.
Whoa, hello. Okay. So it's a higher ABV. It's pristine I mean, it's shiny. It's really pretty to look at.
Nice legs and tears still.
Yeah, the previous version also had nice legs and tears. It was pristine as well. I know that these are fermented with fibers, and yet the Daslerian Wheelery was very light. Would you say, Matt, that it finishes dry? Was that a dry finish?
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it in retrospect because you didn't ask me at the time. But yeah, I would say it was a dry finish.
Okay, all right. Let's see what we get now. The nose was very, very low key. I wouldn't say muted, but it was low key for me, and I was surprised at that because the Sotols I've had recently were, as aromatic as a good mezcal.
Right in your face.
Yeah.
I would say we're still low key here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Get some plant.
Now, to be fair, these bottles have been sitting on my living room floor for a few days, a couple of weeks, actually. Okay, there's plenty of alcohol, though. I'm getting out more alcohol on this one than I got on the Daslerian Wheelery.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm getting way more alcohol than I'm getting anything else. At least with the Wheelery, we got more plant. It was more of the Sotol plant. I know I mentioned earlier that it's when we talk about terroir, the Sotol plant, this desert spoon plant is really indicative of what terroir really means, because I've had Sotol from Coahuila. I've had it from Durango, and I've had most of it coming from Chihuahua. And Durango, for some reason, I thought was sweeter, but this one was really sweet on the intake, almost all the way through.
Now that's interesting. I just poured a little bit in my Sotol for tequila, and the alcohol is way more pronounced with this glass than it is with this one.
Okay, well,
getting less alcohol, more plant.
Okay. Well, it's if you look at the way the glass is
Oh yeah,
formed,
absolutely.
it's going to do that. It's going to dispel a little bit of the alcohol.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting more plant. I'm getting more plant on this one, and it's almost yeah. Wow. I was going to say it's green. It's like a green Sotol, almost akin to a green espadin.
Mm-hmm.
Not a green tequila like a green blue agave. It's more like a green espadin.
That rhymes.
Yeah. I'm a poet. I don't even know it. Yeah, there's a mixture of depth. There's more depth in this one. That's what I'm going to say too. It's denser. It's more depth.
Okay, yeah.
There was a. I'm trying to recall where I'm sensing this smell. It reminds me of some of the raicias that we've had, where there's a denseness, a fibrousness in there. So I'm getting more of that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Whereas the Wheelery was much brighter and greener and sweeter. Okay. This one's coming around denser. It's kind of what I expected, because knowing what I know about the desert spoon plant in Texas, it doesn't get that rainfall, and the plants constrict. They're smaller than the pinas would be in of the Wheelery. But I'm not a botanist, okay? So I just know what people tell me, and that's they say the information tells us it's the biggest of the Wheelery, the Daslerian family. I don't know. I don't know about that. But yeah, it's denser. You want to dive in? You want to try?
Let's do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Flavor out of this. Oh yeah.
Oh, that retro nasal, man. That like sneaks up on you there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. This is more of what I'm used to. It's denser, more fibrousness. Reminds me of some of the raicias I've had. It's not as sweet as the Wheelery. God, I like this too, man.
Yeah, I think it's a big plant punch right up front.
Yes.
A lot of peppery, black peppery notes.
Yeah, yeah.
Longer finish than the Wheelery. More, I would say, more of a medium to long finish. You're absolutely right. It's far less sweet. That sweetness of the Wheelery was the first thing that I noticed when it went in my mouth, and that's not here. Not that that's necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just it's different. Lot more plant forward.
This is what I'm talking about the terroir that you can sense from a Sotol plant, from a desert spoon plant. This is more what I'm used to. Although, like I say, the Chihuahuan Desert Sotol that we've had from Marfa Spirits, which is produced in Mexico in Chihuahua, is bright and sweet and very much akin to this Quechol, the first one, the Wheelery. Probably not as sweet as this Quechol. The first Wheelery, very sweet. I think it's going to appeal to everybody. Men, women, oak heads who like, lean toward the sweet side of things. This one, if you're a mezcal guy, I think you dig this. Are we getting any smoke at all? I'm still not getting any smoke.
No, none. And it is cooked in an underground pit. Same production method as the Wheelery. In fact, most of this paragraph is exactly the same on the sales sheet that we have here. So at least this time, I will say that it's naturally fermented without the use of cultivation.
There you go. Don't get me started on that champagne yeast. You know what? I did. For me, I dig this more than the Wheelery. Although I either one. This one has got much more character, much more like Matt said, much more plant punch. this is more of what I'm used to. It
Yeah, me
really
too.
is. And if you're into mezcals, this is probably the one that you want to lean into. I don't know. I think a lot. I think some of the research is incorrect. I really think that the Texas plant is the Texanum is much more fibrous and denseness. I mean, you can taste it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can taste the difference on both. If you do the side by side, this one is denser, reminds me more of the Riceas that we've had, and it's more fibrous, more of what I'm used to as far as location. I think it's a very uh, and I have had Sotols from Durango. This reminds me more of a Sotol from Durango. So I'm not a botanist. If it grows in the Chihuahuan desert that goes through Durango, great. If it doesn't, you guys are making shit up. So, hey, brand of promise nominee. I'm just going to go there.
Yeah.
I think it's both of them are worthy of both categories, but there is a difference. And so I would say one would be a great gateway for anybody who wants to see what the big deal is on Sotol. And remember, these are at 45 point. Was it 45 and a half? And this was 46?
46 and a third.
And a third. Yeah, this is going to, both of these will sneak up on you.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're a mezcal guy, this is your jam right here. This one, the Texanum. Anything else you want to say, Matt?
No, looks like it'd be the same price point as the other one, $60, which is moderate for this kind of spirit. So,
yeah, I mean, it is labor intensive. It's not unlike a good mezcal.
mm-hmm.
These are really good. I'm impressed. I wish I knew more about who was making it for them. This is Quechol. We got a really cool bumper sticker, and Matt got his sunglasses out. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and I will tell you, if you're a gym rat like I am, if you're intermittent fasting, don't drink this in the middle of the night, because Sotol will give you the munchies. Guaranteed. You're gonna blow that diet, and it's not gonna work.
I mean, the easiest solution is to not do intermittent fasting.
Or don't drink, or if you are, don't drink the Sotol. That's just saying, because it's designed to open up your appetite. It really is an aperitif, where it'd be great for food pairing. Now, you're, like I say, I know you're a cocktail guy, but what would you pair this as far as food goes?
So, just hot taking off the cuff here. Something savory. Maybe like a mole chicken. That was what popped into my head.
Ooh, there you go.
That's what I'm gonna go with. Final answer.
If you were going to do what's the term, charcuterie? Is that the?
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say nuts and meats.
Yeah. Well, that's mole, nuts, and
yeah.
So we're in the same ballpark.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very. I mean, if you're gonna do this and it's gonna open up your appetite, you may as well eat good too, right?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. It's very well done. I'm impressed. They really put out a great product, and you're going to see a lot more Sotols coming out, folks. This is the next hottest thing. Look for it in the next, I would say, 4 or 5 years. The trends that I'm seeing right now, you're seeing mezcal as being lumped in with tequila as driving the market. In the next 4 or 5 years, you're going to see Sotol right in there. So I say migrate now, because the tequila industry is going to fold on itself. Okay, just a
second prediction you've made today about folding on itself.
Yeah, it's going to fold on itself, folks. It's those big explosions in Vegas when they knock over the Sands Hotel or something. That's what it's going to look like. It's just going to right there. And if the explosion doesn't kill you, the fallout will. So there you go. That's our take on Quechol Sotol. You've been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media, all of our channels and networks. If you've had this before, tell us what you're doing with it. If you're putting it in a cocktail, how much you're paying for it. What you think. Leave us a comment, give us a like. Don't forget to share. Hit the notification bell, because that helps with the algorithm and liking and all that. And if you're listening to us on the podcast, download it anywhere you get your podcast. Whatever you do, though, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.